Okay? Filming? Are we filming? Are we on?
Yep.
I think we're on. Are we on?
Yes.
Okay, good. This is welcome.
Yes.
Period 2. I did my introductions already. This is period 2, and it's the end of the day. Carly Ann is unbelievably wide awake. You know? I thought she had dentures all this time because she didn't smile. She was always like this in the morning. And she had like false eyes, she was like this. But now she's awake and she's smiling and she has real teeth. I'm happy to report. Jackie's smiling, excellent. Laura, great smile, Laura. Let's try to do that earlier in the morning. Rebecca actually looks like she is ready to do work. I like it. Carly, Zach.
Carly.
Excellent. Well, Brianna is wide awake in the morning anyway, so she's no different. She's just the crazy redhead. Okay, now, we want to look at Boyle's Law. I want to make another video. This is, as I said, I'm going through the test. For instance, it says, a bubble of air released from the bottom of a lake. Okay? A bubble of air released from the bottom of a lake. A, becomes larger as it rises, becomes smaller as it rises to the top at a constant volume, alternately expands and contracts as it rises, none of the above. What do you guys think? Now remember, they're wide awake today. Even though they've had a HESPA state testing, they're a little burnt, but they're pretty good. What do you think?
Contracting number T or E?
Shall I read them again?
Yes.
Okay. Becomes larger as it rises, becomes smaller as it rises to the top at a constant volume, alternately expands and contracts as it rises. Now, before you answer, you're asking yourself the following. A, what's the answer? Okay. But B, if I know the answer, what would be the process? Well, I'll say this. You know everything you need to know in order to answer this problem. You believe that? Now, this is the problem. That you're not sure how to put together what you know to answer the problem, correct? Right? So let me help you think. I'll be your auxiliary brain. Carly Ann?
Remember you said last week the volume
No, don't say anything.
is different?
No, don't say anything. I don't want you to give anything away. I want to help you think about this, okay? Now, I'm going to be your auxiliary brain. I'm going to help you think, okay? Yeah? Well, if I'm down at the bottom of the lake, it's under a lot of water, correct?
Correct.
A lot of pressure,
Yes.
right? Now, I'm comparing pressure and volume, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Now, access memory banks, Boyle's Law, PV equals PV. Okay?
Yes.
So PV first conditions equals PV second conditions, correct? Yes? This is at the bottom of the lake. This is at the top of the lake. Okay? Right? Let's make up some numbers, okay? At the bottom of the lake, we'll say it has a pressure of 10. Okay? And a volume of 1. Can we say that? At the bottom of the lake, heavy pressure, right? Yes? Okay. Now, at the top of the lake, is it less pressure or greater pressure?
Less pressure.
It's less pressure. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay.
Brilliant. Well done. Brianna, excellent. Yes. Right? Okay, so the pressure is 10 at the bottom of the lake. Can we say the pressure is 1 at the top of the lake? Is that okay?
Why not?
Gabby, are you all right? Are you comfortable with that, Gabby?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So that's going to be, pressure is going to be 1. Okay, now, remember, the pressure times the volume at the bottom of the lake has to equal the pressure times the volume at the top of the lake. So
What's the volume?
if the left side equals 10, what must the right side be? 10, right? So solve for V2. 10 times 1 is 10, divided by 1 is 10, right?
Yes.
So it's going to be 10. Right? Okay? Yes? Yes? Now let me reread the question. Now that you had an auxiliary brain hooked up, kind of like the movie Matrix. Okay? No? Brianna's like, what is he talking about? You all right with that?
Just read the question.
Just read the question. Just push on, Mr. Darcy. Stop, being silly.
Oh, we
Okay.
have to watch
No being silly.
these.
Okay. We have to watch these. Okay. The bubble of air released from the bottom of the lake, A, becomes larger as it rises. Becomes larger as it rises. Let's see. Its volume increases as it rises. Let's see. B, becomes smaller as it rises. Rises to the top at a constant volume with no change. Alternately expands and contracts as it rises. Which one?
B.
What is it?
A.
A. Yeah, A becomes larger. Now I showed you how to do it. You get it? Didn't you already know that? But what was the problem? The problem was accessing the information to put it together, correct?
Correct.
Did I teach you this exact problem? No. But did I teach you everything you need to know?
Yes.
What is the difference? A was what I told you. B is the problem, and what's between it? It starts with a T. Not taxes, no. Who said that? Laura, excellent. Thinking, yes, thinking. Now, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Okay, you ready? You ready? I have a balloon. I have a balloon with a weight on it.
That's a bullet.
Okay? I have a balloon with a weight on it, and it's floating right there. Okay? It's floating right there. It's floating. Right at the top. Balloon with a weight on it, right? Correct? You get that?
So,
Now, if I push that and let's say this is really deep. Really deep. How deep? It's really deep, okay? Really deep, okay? Okay. Now, if I push that down, even though it's floating, it's a balloon filled with air with a weight attached to the balloon, and it's floating just below the surface. Now, if I push that balloon down, down, what will eventually happen? No.
Well, or come back
It
up.
will pop?
Come back up.
It will come short.
No. Yeah, it could, if I let go, it would come back up. But eventually, what would happen? Eventually, when you get deep enough,
It'll stay.
it'll,
It would just-
it would what? It would float?
What?
It'll sink to the bottom.
What?
It'll sink to the bottom.
Why? She said it will sink to the bottom. Excellent answer. The dangerous thing to say, but why?
Because the air comes out of the balloon.
No, the air's not coming out of the balloon. The balloon
pressure-
is
the
fixed.
The pressure
The pressure,
pressing on the balloon.
the pressure presses on the balloon, and then what
Make
happens?
the balloon pop.
It makes it.
Wait, these guys, they're throwing things at me. They're throwing things at me. Rotten tomatoes are coming at me.
I got it.
What?
The buoyant force is less than the pressure pushing down.
The buoyant, he just put a bunch of words together. And hey, does that sound okay?
The buoyant
Doesn't that balloon cause, isn't that responsible for most of the buoyant force, yes or no? Yes or no? Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm just showing you how to refine your answer, okay? He's very mad at me now. Okay, you all right with that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, good. Now, so as I push the balloon down, what happens to the balloon?
It shrinks.
It shrinks, right? It shrinks. So if the balloon shrinks, what happens to the buoyant force?
It decreases.
It what?
Decreases.
It decreases, right? So therefore, let me draw it down here, and you tell me what's going to happen. So this is going to be the buoyant force, and this will be the weight, right? Now you're saying, Boyle's law, Tom, right? Boyle's law, if I push the balloon down, right? Right? If I push the balloon down, the balloon's going to shrink according to Boyle's law, right? You with me on that? Okay. And the buoyant force is going to reduce. That's all I need. Do you understand that so far?
Yeah.
Yes? Rebecca, you with me? Excellent. So, let me draw it. Shall I redraw it? Okay? All right. I'm not going to draw the balloon. I'll just draw the vectors. Is that okay? All right. So this is less, right? Here they're equal, right? Right? They're equal, right? Okay? Floated. All right, now. Down here, buoyant force is less. Weight is the same. Weight doesn't change, does it?
No.
Okay, but the buoyant force is less now. What's going to happen? Add those vectors. What's going to happen?
The pressure going down.
It's going to sink. Because if you add those vectors together, which direction will the resultant vector be?
Oh, it's positive.
No. It'll be positive, which means down, right? In other words, this is negative, this is positive, this is negative, this is positive. Therefore, the resultant vector will be positive. So, at a certain point, if I press that balloon down, artificially, I just hold it down, at some point, it will sink and never rise again. Rebecca's looking at me like she's stunned. Excellent. With me?
We should try
Excellent. Okay.
that.
I agree. We should try that.
We'll go out scuba diving in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
School trip.
School trip?
Yeah.
Excellent.
last year.
My last year. What does that mean?
Your last year.
Let's have fun. My last year as opposed to the prior 34 years. Okay, so that's end of review.
7.
Review 7. Okay, what did we talk about? We talked about Boyle's law, right? We talked about a bubble. Okay. Does anybody want extra credit?
Yes.
Okay. They can. I don't know what they're going to do. I'll wait till the film is over, and I really don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm going to give them an extra credit project. But I'm not sure what it is.
We're on top of things,
Awesome.
Mr. Darcy.
It's just I'm being spontaneous. Excuse me, brave. Okay. Gosh. Bye.
So let's,
Not very